I don't know what that sound was.
Step in the ring, feel the adrenaline rush, going fist and kicks, the pain we can't hush. And then they find us, we're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon, like a warrior I stand, trading blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with my golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was cool. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is right over there on that side of your screen, rocking the Sean O'Malley shirt this week. Look at us, D Rose. What up, twin? What up, twin?
And there he is. There he is.
What's going on, man? How was your week?
No, the week has been great, and just kind of been able to kind of relax today. Man, if I don't get this frog out my throat, I'm gonna have to take a leave of absence here real quick.
Don't eat frogs.
Yeah, it's a little something in here trying to make something come back up. But hey, we holding it down here. But no, things have been great.
Just a little preview for what's happening later on in the show.
Yeah, no, exactly. Some BS, man. But no, things have been great. Otherwise, unfortunately, we'll get into some things. Why my weekend was a little bit sour. My betting weekend was absolutely dirt. Again, just continuously striking out at this point to where I'm just, what am I doing this? What am I doing this for? If it's not a straight bet, I'm pretty much just not going to hit it.
Hey, man, I feel you. Gotten
to that point with the sport, man. It's beating me down.
I feel you, dog. Yeah, this past weekend, I thankfully broke even, but man, I would have been up a few hundred if just Mandel Nalo would have won. But we'll get into it. On today's show, what you guys have to look forward to is this past weekend's UFC Winnipeg recap. We got the Wheel of Doom. Dun, dun, dun. We got some UFC news and fight announcements to go over, and then second to last topic on the end of the show, we got our UFC Vegas 116 Aljamain Sterling versus Yusuf Zalal. Our preview, our predictions, and our picks. Man, this card this weekend's not good, D-Rose. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, oh,
I know.
And then next week I wake up early. Yeah. Anyway, and then we'll close out the show with this week's pick champ as we always do, and I will be doing all that on about 400 mgs. So, let's get into the chat, see what you guys say. What's going on, boys? My favorite night of the week. Hope y'all are good. Yeah, we're good, Antoine. Thank you for stopping by tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What up, Antoine?
This weekend, yeah. As D-Rose said, it's tough, man. I'm glad I have other sports right now, saving me from just draining my bank account, because every weekend it would just be a losing game of like UFC, sometimes breaking even. But okay. And then Antoine, were y'all watching the game? Yeah, I was. I almost went to the game last night, but I decided that it was a little bit out of my price range. That maybe I should stay at home. And boy, am I glad that I did, because I would have been sad. I would have been sad. Anyway, D Rose, anything
Yeah,
before we
to
get started?
spend that money and to spend that money, see Victor Wembanyama get hurt and the Spurs lose, that would have been
Yeah.
that would have hurt, a lot. I can
Yeah.
definitely understand that.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, to be fair, they don't look terrible without him though, too. So it's not 100% necessary. It just makes things a lot easier. But yeah, what's going on, Dave? How you doing, brother? So we'll jump in today's show. Our UFC Winnipeg recap from this past weekend. So I will share my screen, or we can just kind of talk about it, D Rose. It's okay. We'll start off with Jamie Siraj getting smoked by John Giannis. At this point, you get smoked like that by John Giannis, dude. I might be able to beat you. Shout out Jamie Siraj for just being the absolute worst in the UFC possible. They might give him another shot, but he's probably gonna get smoked by them too. Thoughts on that fight, if any, Deros?
Yeah, not many thoughts. Just John Giannis, just a good performance for him, and a guy who a lot of people have been counting out, and myself included, and kind of go and get upset in enemy territory. That was a good win for him.
Yeah. All right. Moving on up. John Castaneda, Mark Vlogden. Man, fun fight. Mark Vlogden's real small. There was a point deduction from, I think, like the eye pokes and nut shots. There were multiple fouls. So John Castaneda got a point taken from him, which led to this fight being a draw, dude. Is it me? Is it me, dude? How many out of the last 5 weeks, dude? How many draws is that? Is that 3, 4 draws out of the last 5 weeks?
We've been getting a lot more of them here at the late. We get a lot
Dude.
more point deductions with and
Yeah.
that's what ended up happening in this case as well was the point deduction, because we've been getting refs taking more points for low blows or eye pokes or anything like that, and in this case it was the low blows, and yeah, ended up causing John Castaneda, which ultimately he would have won the fight if not for the point deduction.
Yeah. Dave saying just lost the layup first basket. Yeah, I tend to do that too, Dave. I've been losing them. Man. Be honest with me. Did y'all bet New York Knicks or the Atlanta Hawks? Bet? I probably bet the Knicks first game, and then they got toasted. But I also, bet who are the Lakers playing right now, and they keep losing.
The Rockets.
Yeah, also if I can bet the
No,
Rockets, dude,
they
and
beat the Rockets.
yeah. Also, if I can bet the Rockets, and they have lost to the Rockets not twice, I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, getting back to the show, third fight of the night, Jamie Lynn Horth, JJ Aldridge, dude, the robbery of the night, dude. I know you don't think so, but dog, Jamie Lynn was walking her down every round, throwing shots, body kicks, leg kicks. At one point, they popped a stat up on the screen that said JJ Aldridge had landed 4 significant strikes to Jamie Lynn Horth's like 24, dude. I was like, all right, she clearly won round 1. Dude, I don't know what the judges were smoking. I don't know what you were smoking, D-Rose. What's your thoughts on the robbery of JJ Aldridge, Jamie Lynn Horth?
I mean, I told you that I thought that Jamie Lynn Horth won the fight. So I did. I thought she won the fight. My whole point was, it's just
in Canada.
Jamie Lynn Horth could have been She could have been walking her down, but it's not like she was really doing any like real significant damage. A lot of her shots were, leg kicks and body kicks. She wasn't really landing too many punches or anything. And if you looked at Jamie Lynn Horth's face, for me, I'll tell you, I checked out at the end of the second round because I was like, man, this fight is just, it's hard for me to stomach. I was at work. I was, I basically ended up
Slinging those
prioritizing
K's and
other
H's.
things. Yeah. I ended up prioritizing other things at work because I was like, man, I'm just not going to, I'm not getting anything from this fight. So I didn't watch the third round. I heard people say they thought Aldrich won the third round. I thought Jamie Lynn Horth won the first two, but
I thought
think
it
it
was
was a robbery?
30-27, Jamie Lynn Horth. Anyway, what can we say? What can we say? We got Antoine and Dave going back and forth. We got Austin in here. What's going on? Austin, I may have already clicked your comment. I don't even know what's going on, brother. Oh yeah, that was after that. Yeah. You can't hate on us, Antoine, just because we're trying to make some money over here, man. Trying to make some money. Dave didn't even watch the card. He was in Myrtle Beach, D Rose. When's the last time you went to Myrtle Beach?
What was the
D-Rose?
guy's name
What are you talking about?
for Dave?
Oh yeah, Dave. What was his name down there? I guess. Anyway, Melissa Croden, Dara Zelezniakova, dude. Man, Melissa Croden almost finished Dara Zelezniakova, and well, this ended up being the second fight for the pick champ of the night. First one being Jamie Lynn Horth, JJ Aldridge. So you getting that robbery decision win already had me not feeling good, dude. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get fisted again, dog. Every week I just get fisted by these judges. But no, it didn't happen because Dara Zelezniakova versus Melissa Croden. Melissa Croden came on strong in that round 3, almost finished Dara, but I believe it was late first round, second round. Dara Zelezniakova was looking like Chelsea Chandler in the octagon. Did you see her like absolutely sprinting from like Melissa Croden?
Yeah, I liked how Laura Sanko kept saying it was footwork that she was trying to use.
Yeah.
I was like, let's that I guess.
Does it work? Oh goodness. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Any more thoughts on the close to finish there, or did you see that?
I didn't. Yeah,
All right.
that fight was tough to watch there.
All right, Tanner Bozer, Gokhan Saracam. Man, Tanner Bozer was looking good until he just got absolutely, I guess, smoked. Like fucking Gokhan Saracam, like hit him with like a 1-2, and he ended up just going down. I have to separate myself. There is a difference between Nicholas Dalby and Tanner Bozer. I know they're not the same guy, dog, but their qualities and like looks to me like blend together, and it's ruining me, dog. Anyway, Tanner Bozer gets knocked out round number 2. Thoughts on that one, if any?
Yeah, I thought it was a fun fight, and I mean they both kind of went in there and threw down, and I thought it was a back and forth fight. And I mean, for me, we have been kind of, talking about how heavyweight hadn't been delivering here as of late. And I mean, this is, for me, I mean, this is another heavyweight banger. And, in my opinion, that, they ended up going until, Sarah Cam was able to land that, that final thud there. He was gasping for air there at the end of the second round, or, getting close to the end of that second round there. So I was curious to how he was going to look going into the third. I was curious to see if Tanner Bozer could have started kind of taking over, but no, it was a good win for Sarah Cam, and a very fun fight.
Yeah, indeed. Moving on up, Julian LeBlanc, Rob Zilla Valentine. Dude, thankfully I bet this, dude. I bet Rob Zilla via submission. Like I was like looking back at his tape like earlier in the week, and if he didn't have the broken arm, he would have won the Ultimate Fighter finale. And like I felt in my heart, I was like, Rob Valentine's going to end up hurting this dude and wrapping up a neck. And by golly, if that's not what happens, let me know your thoughts on the round 1 submission.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the result I wanted.
No,
but yeah, no, it was a good win for Robert Valentine. He kind of needed the win. He had been looking pretty, hadn't had the best results in the UFC.
I had the best matchups though. Just rough ones.
Yeah, so for him to kind of, back against the wall, potentially, cutting papers were on the line here for him, and for him to come out and get a finish. Again, another fighter getting a win in enemy territory. That was a good win for Valentine to kind of get back and potentially for him, or hopefully for himself, get back in good graces with the UFC.
Yeah, and support and secured the pick champ for your boy over here. Yes, we'll do the transfer in just a minute, Neros, once you're eating something disgusting. Anyway, Dennis Bazooka, Mauricio Barboza, dude, I have to be honest, at about 58 seconds into this fight, I was like, man, is Mauricio gonna throw anything? Like he's just kind of waiting. And then about 21 seconds later, he absolutely toasts Dennis Bazooka with like the first few shots that he threw. And man, Dennis Bazooka was like dead. Like I'm surprised they got him out of the octagon. You know what? I'm not even gonna act like they didn't just move the camera during like the next fight, and they're like, "Don't go over there," because they're still getting Dennis Bazooka out of the cage. Dog, he got flat.
They're still scraping him off the canvas.
Right. What's your thoughts on Mauricio Barboza? 27, 28 years old. Looks a little bit older, but coming into the featherweight division, looking polished, ready to go.
Yeah. He looked explosive, and this was kind of the result I was expecting, for Dennis Bazooka. I'm a fan of him. He is willing to go in there and kind of go out there and leave it all out there for the fans. But man, he's, especially here as of late, he's been more getting got than he has been doing. He has not been doing the getting more, though. He's been getting got. And for him, it's just been rough for him. And a heavy hitter like Barboza, that dude, that left hook was so perfect, because Bazooka he stepped forward, threw the left to the body, and goes to throw the left hook to the head, and Barboza just dips it perfectly, and southpaw just throws that left hook and just catches Bazooka clean. I mean, dude, it was such a clean counter. And it's definitely up there for contender right now for KO of the year.
Yeah, man. For me, it's still Alexa Grassa over Mason.
Yeah, she still got number one, but that one right there, that definitely gave her some competition there.
Yeah. Moving on up, Thiago Moises, Gage Young. Dude, I chased with Gage Young via knockout. And dude, with he drops Thiago Moises with like a minute 30 left in the fight. And instead of like finishing up, ground and pound, making him stand up, he decides to stand over Thiago Moises and do whatever the fuck this is. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, so I lost on my fucking Gage Young fucking knockout prop because he's bullshitting. What's your thoughts on Gage Young's dance moves, I guess?
Yeah, he was looking for a moment there, and kind of blew it for himself. Maybe he could have emoted after the fight, but it was
he almost lost because it was a split decision.
Yeah, well, because that second round was pretty. That second round is pretty close as well. I thought Gage Young had won rounds 2 and 3 pretty cleanly, but Thiago Moises won that first round, and he had basically controlled Gage Young there the whole first round. So for Gage Young to kind of bounce back, being down one round to win rounds 2 and 3, that was a good win for him.
I believe Antoine is asking about Dennis Bazooka, D-Rose. I think there's a second stint in the UFC already too.
Yeah, he was kind of just signed, I think, really to kind of take this fight on short notice. I mean, at this point, he just I guess defensively, he does tend to take a lot of shots. Maybe he can try to be just a little bit more cautious and not as he is very willing to take one to give one, but here lately he hadn't been able to take one. So maybe if you could just try to maybe clean some stuff up defensively, but I don't know where he can really go from here.
Yeah, moving on up, Jazz the Vicious taking on Karina Silva, dude. This is 3 fights in a row now that Karina Silva has came out here and throwed up bullshit off her back and expected to win the fight, dog. She came into the UFC and was aggressive, submitting these chicks like from like top position, knee bars, shit like that. And these past 3 fights, dude, she's came out here and played in her guard and just lost 3 decisions in a row now, dog. Like, I'm glad I picked Jazz to win this fight, but I'm a Karine Silva fan, but just seeing her game plan now, dude, I'm like, what's your goal? That's not going to work. Like, I don't understand what you're just wrapping your legs up and hope that they don't know what to do. Newsflash, they can punch you in the face.
Yeah.
You're going to let go.
And a lot of the fighters that she's been doing it to have been like good wrestlers like Mason Barber and like Jasmine Jasovicius who are good with top control. And, for Karine Silva, as you said, she kind of came in as that aggressor to kind of, regress back to kind of this fight style now. It has been, pretty confusing because, like I said, she's fighting wrestlers who know what to do and, kind of those positions. And, we talk about it a lot of times, more often than not, jiu-jitsu usually gets trumped by wrestling. So, that, for Karine Silva, it's kind of head scratching, but, for a Jasovicius, I think just good win for her coming off that, the Fierro loss, that was a tough loss for her, but for her to get a good bounce back win like that, kind of good for her and good for her morale kind of moving forward.
Yeah. Saved my night too, because I had a Rob Valentine sub, Mauricio Barbosa knockout, and Jazz via decision. That was my cycle this past weekend. So thankfully I cashed that, was able to break me even because after this fight, I was feeling good, dude. I was like, I'm even, and I got like 4 or 5 bets still. The issue is they all included Mandel Nalo moneyline or Mandel Nalo knockout, in which I was so excited, dude. Like 20 seconds into this fight, I was like, "Oh, he is whopping Jai Herbert with every punch he hits him with. He's like knocking him down." Then I guess flashback to Erie a couple weeks ago. Got too confident, walked in with his hands down, and got smoked. And not only that, dude, he got smoked once. Jason Herzog did not stop it. He somehow ended up recovering, fighting his way back to the feet again. I was like, oh my God, he's got a shot. And then Jai Herbert just fucking smokes him. I was like, well, there goes the rest of my bets, dude. Thankfully, about broke even for the night. But man, if Mandel Nalo would have won, I would have been up big time. Probably like $200-$300. I would have been up on the night, dude. Sad to see rat garbage get turned into rat garbage. What's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, rat garbage got turned into rat feces there at the end. He got smashed to bits, and for him to kind of start hot the way he did. I mean, we know, Mandel now to be the aggressor, but, Jai Herbert, I will give him credit, man. He has been in there with some tough guys and, he's kind of been in there in some compromising situations and has been able to fight out of that against high level, competition. And, he hasn't been able to fight out of those moments every time, but, I think, his experience really helped him here to kind of stay calm in those moments after he got rocked and be able to kind of respond back to Mandel Nalo to, get that initial first kind of that slip counter right hand to drop Mandel Nalo. Fight could have been stopped then, but maybe giving the hometown guy another chance. But yeah, Jai Herbert knocked him down again with that left hand, and you just knew from there it was over because Mandel Nalo couldn't even really stand there like before that second knockdown. Like he stood up, but dude, he looked like he was drunk. Like 100% looked like he was drunk. So yeah, it was a good stoppage and a good win for Jai Herbert.
Yeah, Antoine, do you think that KO will be altering for Nalo at 36? I mean, I'm sure he's got fucking knocked out before. I don't know. I always support prospects in their 30s. Like, I like to never give up stories. Yeah. But at some point, man, it is a young man's game. Co-main event this past weekend, Kyler Phillips, Charles Air Jourdain. Kyler Phillips came in here with the worst game plan possible. I tweeted round one. Kyler Phillips coming into this fight with a heavy wrestling game plan. That's surprising for a known gasser. And dude, like we call it every week, like round 2, he was kind of huffing and puffing. I do have to admit that round 3, he did kind of impress me. Kind of got a second win there, but Charles for sure did more, dude. I did have Charles via submission bet here, so he didn't get that. But shout out Charles Jourdain for getting the win in Canada over Kyler Phillips. What's your thoughts on this one, man? Good win, yeah.
Yeah, good win and good scrap. And I think they even ended up getting the bonus for fight of the night. And I thought that was well deserved because I think you could have made the argument for Sarah Com and Bozer, but I do think for the most part for this fight, I think a lot of it had to do with the crowd, kind of the emotions going into everything. Because when Kyler Phillips started using his wrestling there, the Canadian crowd wasn't necessarily booing, but they were like, "Hey, hey, come on, man! Like, that's our guy. You're taking our guy down." And as soon as Charles Jourdain was able to kind of basically reverse those positions and kind of get to a knee base to where he could stand back up, that crowd started going crazy. And then Charles Jourdain just started doing his thing with the forward pressure. Kyler Phillips was able to kind of use his wrestling and clinch to kind of slow Jourdain down, but really on the feet, it was just Charles Jourdain just using his pressure and just activity and just really put it on Kyler Phillips and was able to really wear him down. Even though Kyler Phillips wasn't able to get some takedowns, he wasn't able to really do anything with it necessarily to inflict like any real danger or not even any real submission threat or anything. And Charles Jourdain to me did enough on the feet to I thought it was 29-28. I thought Phillips won the first round and I thought Jourdain won rounds 2 and 3.
I agree. So main event this past weekend was Gilbert Burns, Mike Malott. My last ditch effort to chase the roast. I bet the over 2.5. Just a little bit of money. Trying to win a little back, dude. And it's cruising, dog. It don't look like it's got a chance of even finishing. And then Mike Malott just hits Gilbert Burns. I had to see if I can Gilbert kind of get it like wobbly. His hands go up and he starts backing up, starting to shell up. I'm like, fuck, here it comes. And sure enough, that was the end of the fight. Mike Malott wins third round knockout, 2 minutes and 8 seconds into the round. Couldn't have gave me 22 more seconds. Like, come on. Anyway, Gilbert retires after the fight. Sad to see Gilbert go. Been a fun fighter, but I mean, at this point, man, he's too small for 170. He keeps getting finished too. I mean, he's older. Made a lot of money. Been a fun fighter. Shout out Gilbert Burns. What's your thoughts on the main event this past weekend, Deros?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good performance for Mike Malott and for Gilbert Burns. I thought that even coming off those recent losses and the last loss against Michael Morales for me, it was a little disheartening for if you're a diehard Gilbert Burns fan, that Michael Morales fight was not anything pretty to look at because it was really the way Gilbert lost for me. It was like, he basically got hit right at the beginning and just kind of shelled up from there and just basically until the fight was over. So it was, kind of rough there, but he looked a lot better in this fight. But just ultimately, for me at this point in his career, it was good to kind of call the move to retire for Gilbert because, he was starting to kind of, lose a step on some of the guys. A lot of the guys are a lot bigger than him now. And Gilbert's got a lot of smarts, that he could share, in terms of coaching and, he's done coaching, I'm sure he could probably do some competition jiu-jitsu or RAF or, anything like that. So yeah, congratulations to Gilbert on his career and everything. And as for Mike Malott, I guess I just don't really know what this does for him. I mean, he beat a guy who was, kind of coming in not necessarily on the best of streaks to begin with. And, while Mike Malott did look better, I would say, just as far as like he was able to be patient, and not really go out there and try to rush the finish. But once he got the opportunity, he took advantage. I just don't know what it does for him as far as like, do I still think he competes with guys in the top 10? I really don't know. I just haven't seen enough. I mean, because if you ask me right now, like him against him against JDM right now. Who would you pick to win? Mike
Oh,
Malott or
fucking!
JDM?
That ain't even a question.
Right. And so, would you pick Mike Malott or MVP?
Dude, I can't get over the fact that he lost to Neil Magny.
Yeah. So that I think that's what I mean. Like, as far as like, I just don't know what it does for Mike Malott right now. I like him. It was a good performance, but I need to see more before I'm ready to kind of say that he's kind of up next to compete with all the guys up at the top at 170 right now, because 170 is still pretty hot right now.
Antoine, are you asking us to tell you how the Khamzat versus? Oh, I thought you said fuck it. Never mind. There's Burns versus Chimaev going to Hall of Fame. It was a good fight, though. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
that fight definitely does, because it's in that fight it was, and it's 100% a banger. Like, if you go back and actually just watch that fight, like I've gone back and watched it like plenty of times. Like it holds up with one of the top, easily one of the top 10, maybe even top 5 or 6 at least. At least top 5 within the last 6 years. Since 2020, one of the top. Maybe even top 3 fights. So yeah.
If Mike challenges for the belt by 37, we'll have time for it right now. I don't think he gets there, Antoine. I think Canada's best bet for a champion has got to be Jazz.
Yeah, her, but she's got a tough division ahead of her too. So Jazavicius, as much as I think we both are pretty big fans of her. She's kind of getting long in the tooth as well.
Probably fucking better off, like fucking going up to 135, dude.
Maybe, but then I just think about her sized up against like Norman Dumont, and I can
fighting this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So
Antoine's gonna have his lotion ready this weekend.
I thought you meant Dave was going to have his lotion ready.
Nah, Antoine's gonna have his ready. Anyway, that was this past weekend. Yeah, that was this past weekend's fights, man. So that being said, we have to move on to what is called the Wheel of Doom. Are you excited for this, man? You should be excited for it. Because you almost got clean sweeped, man. You almost got clean sweeped. So don't take it for granted, man.
Man, how did Julian LeBlanc go out there and get smoked in front of his home people like that against Robert Valentine, going in off so many losses?
All right, Neros. So this past weekend, let me get our music pulled up for the Doom Wheel. So, D-Rose, this past weekend at UFC Winnipeg, we had 5 different fight picks. Unfortunately, one of those picks fell off, and it was my number 1 pick of the day, Alan Nascimento versus Mitroposo. Mitroposo pulls out the fight. That should be an automatic dub for your boy. Unfortunately, that ain't how it works over here. So that fight gets off. So we get tossed to our backup, right? Which was Melissa Croden, Dara Zalesniak, which is fine. So our first fight that actually counted was Jamie Lynn Horth versus JJ Aldridge. I did pick Jamie Lynn Horth. JJ Aldridge somehow gets a BS victory win. I don't know. D Rose wins that one on some bullshit. So off the jump, he wins the first one of the night, and I'm already mad because I'm like, this happens every week. He's going to end up winning. I'm going to have to eat this damn fire bean again. But it ain't what happens.
Oh, no. Hey, so let me tell y'all, when I say, like, mad, like, this might be the maddest Matt has ever been. Like, dude, he was blowing me.
I was yelling at D-Rose through text messages.
Yes, like I felt the anger through every single text message he sent, and I'm like, bro, like I really don't care. Like I could have lost the fight. I didn't care because the fight was that garbage. Like that was my whole perspective. Like Jamie Lynn Horst, she should have won, sure, whatever. I don't care. But yeah, dude, Matt was. I never knew that Matt would be so upset about like a low level prelim Canadian card fight.
How many times have you said that? How many times have you said, I never knew Matt would be so upset about insert low level prelim, but here we are.
Yeah, but this one, Jamie Lynn Horst, out of all the ones, like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, they're the line at some point, right?
Yeah. All right. So we then go to finishing up because we're tied there. Jamie Lynn Horst, JJ Aldrich. I have Horst. D-Rose has Aldrich. I had Croden. D-Rose had Lesniakova. We finish up with the tiebreaker of Rob Zilla, Rob Valentine, and Julian LeBlanc, where Rob Valentine comes through with a round one submission, baby. Shout out me. I am this week's. Where's it at? I lost my belt. I just not have it. I was walking around. Here it is. Oh, yeah. This week's Pick Champ, baby. And D-Rose. Horst versus Aldrich kept you from getting clean swept, dog, because Gage Young also wins as well. Not that it would have even mattered. I won every single fight.
Pozo couldn't make it to the fight.
I'm lucky. All right. So let's see what you guys got to say before we spin it. If I walked out the room, when I missed. Oh. I know it's bagel. I got it. You believe in you. What's the worst fight robbery? Worse than Gordon versus Pimblett? Macy Barber versus Miranda Maverick. The one this past weekend. I hope D-Rose gets the Reaper.
Yeah, hater, Dave. Yeah, hater.
All right, D-Rose, I'm about to spin it for you. Is it going to be fire or is it going to be sour? Fire, 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 fire. He ain't done. He ain't done. He got the fire bead. So the options are sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero, Carolina Reaper, or a blind random pull, in which I've had sriracha 2 times. I've had sriracha 2 times, Carolina Reaper 1 time, sriracha 2 times, habanero 1 time, and D-Rose has had habanero 1 time. Dude, why do I got to eat this shit every week? Every week it's me. Yeah, I'm glad you're eating this shit. I'm just going to spin it. Hopefully it's something in between Carolina Reaper and habanero. Oh, you got the fucking cayenne, dog. What's the cayenne?
What level is
the second? I think the second one. Oh, it's third. Right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice.
It's the dark bean. The darkest red bean in there. But hopefully you don't get it wrong and actually eat the Carolina Reaper, because that's an option as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm trying to make sure I actually got the right one.
All right, let's put a microscope on D-Rose. Put the microscope on him.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah, that's the dark one.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it ain't got
that
no.
one.
Yeah,
Right?
it's not that one's it.
Okay, like I said, that one, it got me last time because
But that's the second hottest one, so it makes sense.
it hit my throat when I swallowed it. That's where it got me. Like, I was trying to be cautious.
All right, what are we doing? 10-second chew? 20-second chew? 20-second chew?
Okay.
All right.
We'll do 15.
Cayenne. Woo. That would probably taste terrible, right?
Yeah. And that,
I can't imagine
Right.
that tastes good. I can't imagine that tastes good.
I did it again. All right. Oh.
Just gonna put the microscope on there.
Dude, my eyes are. Dude, my eyes are legit water.
Clearly not
Like,
as the
give me
hobby.
Dude, it's giving me
Clearly-
heartburn.
Clearly not as hot as the habanero. Yeah.
No, it's not as hot, but dude, like that's legit giving me heartburn. Like,
Good.
I
Good.
Nah.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
this is bull. Because Julian LeBlanc, decided to screw me.
Oh my goodness. It says hot. Compare it to the habanero, D-Rose. What can you compare it to?
So it's not nearly as hot as the habanero. No, it's the habanero is definitely
Dude, the
hot.
first time one of us get the Carolina Reaper, I'm scared.
Dude, I'm legit gonna be, dude, because you know my heat tolerance, and that like even like something like that habanero, I wouldn't put that on like anything I would eat. That cayenne, I probably would not eat. Yeah, I tell you, like the level of heat on that, I would not put anything I would eat on that like and comfortably eat it. Like, could I handle it? Yes, but could I comfortably eat that? No.
Let's see what everyone's saying. Dave's upset, D-Rose. Dave wanted you to get the Carolina. Look at Dave. Come on, Reaper.
No. Hey, who was it? Was it Austin or was it Dave that ended up getting the beans and was like trying along with us?
It was
Hey,
awesome.
why don't you Dave, why don't you go ahead and join the boys?
Whack.
Whenever we're
Rick had to man the respin. And so I was like, you couldn't pay me to eat that. That's
Yeah,
why
you
your
could
picks
always
got to be
join.
right. That's why your picks got to be right, Antoine. I don't think either one of us want to do this. Ended up sitting on the toilet for a few hours tonight.
dude, I'm be sitting here with freaking heartburn. I'm gonna have to go up here and take some damn Tums. I
Oh
legit
my
got heartburn.
goodness.
It's crazy.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was fun. That was fun. It's always fun when I don't have to do it. It's never fun when I do have to do it. I will say that. I like dread the day. Like, oh,
It's always fun when you do it.
Nah, dog.
It's always fun when you do it. Dude, especially dude, I would have loved to have seen you. Like I said, the habanero was great. The cayenne, yeah.
Dude, I
that
was
would've been,
sweating
another
last.
one,
I
but,
was sweating eating that.
dude, wait until you get a Carolina Reaper. You gonna be
Wait till you get a Carolina Reaper. That head's gonna be extra shiny. It's gonna be glistening.
dude. That habanero made me sweat. So I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that Reaper. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking like I had a workout.
All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get into our news and fight announcements. Oh, looks like Keldon Johnson wins 6th Man of the Year. What's up, D-Rose?
Just
Oh,
laughing
is
at
there
laughing
new
at the
comment?
comments down here. Laughing at Dave's Dave's wild.
I can't get my. There we go.
Dave,
here it is.
I am in pain. Am I in much
Yeah.
pain as with the habanero? No, but
That.
that does not mean I'm not in pain.
Do you actually like spicy restaurants? Like, will you We ask for it all off the menu. Oh,
I mean, I don't like basically I like to put hot sauce on a lot of stuff, but I mean, as far as I if I see something that like looks like it's good, I mean, I'll go for it if it's spicy, but I'm not like locking in on like I gotta find the most spicy thing in the world. I'm not that. Yeah, I'm not that obsessed about it.
that's fair. That's fair. All right. D-Rose, Kelvin Johnson wins 6th man of the year. That's cool,
huh? Yeah. Yeah, not gonna lie, I was not aware of that at all.
Anyway, Bryce Mitchell versus Victor Henry. To be fair, the real Kev, all of his announcements are usually bullshit, so I don't know if this is actually real or not, but it looks like Bryce Mitchell versus Victor Henry for UFC Vegas 118, June 6th. Thoughts on that one if it actually happens?
I mean, that's for me that should be a winnable fight for Bryce Mitchell. I still think he would be the younger, faster guy, but Victor Henry does have some some pretty good experience. But I think a guy like if Charles Jourdain was able to submit Victor Henry, I would say Bryce Mitchell might have the ability to do the same thing.
That's fair, man. Let's see. Did you see this, man? D-Rod posted his journey from prison, dog. This was D-Rod while he was in jail. He was getting in workouts in the Mexican prison, dog.
Hey.
And he's got the phone to record it. Look at the J's on
respect.
in prison, in the Mexican prison. What is that? A water jug?
You know what? Respect to him though. Grind don't stop. Even though he was locked up, I heard.
Imagine the connection, dude.
That,
his fucking cellmate had to have been like a cartel boss that had all the money, dude. Look, he's got a TV in there.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
He said his cellmate ended up, I guess, knowing who he was and basically ended up hooking him up. But yeah, I thought that was I thought just for him to be able to do that, it is kind of funny to laugh at because you're like, how the hell do you get all this in jail? But dude, it is or prison and Mexican prison out of all that as well. But yeah, shout out to D-Rod for being able to still get in work, even though he was locked up for as long as he was.
Yeah, and it is officially SD Cedric Dumas Fight Week. So there's a clip from him on his weekly podcast that he does. I figured I would go ahead and play it here. Let me know if you can hear it, D-Rose.
It's Dumas versus Jackson McVeigh.
See, look at him.
I can hear it.
Oh, he's 7'7" now. He got strikes. He got a little bit more than me. Shit, takedown accuracy 31. No, shit. Nigga, he 6'4", 6'2", nigga. Shit, I might hit him with a shimmy, nigga.
So we have the tactic for Cedric Dumas versus Jackson McVeigh this weekend. He's gonna hit him with a little shimmy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, how could you not, want to root for the dude? Really at this point. I mean, just at this point, just a well-educated guy.
Well spoken.
Yeah, well-spoken, well-educated. Just all around, just astute person, man, and great fighter as well. So how could you not be a fan of SD?
Dude, he reminds me of like Loke Dog so much, like on the movie. Fucking Don't Be a Mrs. Sausage.
Yeah.
Like in that clip right there, I'm like, dude, that is 100% Loke Dog. He's like, let's see, he's a little bit taller than me, about 77 strikes. I might hit him with the shammy. Like, what?
It's like he's trying so hard to be funny too. Was the worst part. Like, yeah, that was just hard to watch.
All right. Well, he is fighting this weekend, so don't forget he is fighting Jackson McVeigh. Dave wants to know, why can't Cedriquez be the kind of felon D-Rod is? I believe he is. He just lives in Florida where there's no good judicial system in Florida. They just like let you out if you, as long as you didn't kill nobody, they just let you out.
He's saying, why can't he behave well like D-Rod?
Okay.
He is a felon, but why can't he
No,
behave like
a likable felon
like D-Rod was?
Likable
yeah, a well behaved felon.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. D-Rose would have told SD he's a student and SD would be insulted. His response would, I can promise you, his response would be, what that mean? 3 words.
What that mean?
I wanted to ask you how you felt about Ronda ran the presser. I think she's salty and old. No one cares.
I mean, I thought she brought the fire. I mean, if I'm being honest, she kind of had a point with the Kayla Harrison
Dude,
thing.
she's so good at cutting promos now. Like from like fucking being in like the fucking WWE. That's her job now. That's her job, is to talk shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not even necessarily talking smack about Gina or anything like that, but just as far as
she's fucking talking smack about fucking Kayla Harrison, dude. Kayla would mop her, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like, especially at this point too. Like Kayla's a lot bigger than Ronda too.
Just shut up. You're old now. Like, where I'm, cool. Anyway,
I like the fire that she came with, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. So there was there earlier. She was the first ever female to face off. There still hasn't been a more popular one. I think for a moment, Holly Holm was more popular than Ronda.
When she won the title, yeah, but after she lost the title, yeah, the carrot kind of went out the window because I think people were expecting Holly Holm to be a dominant champ, and she ended up losing the belt in her first fight, in her first defense, and never really got it back, and kind of fell out of the. She was still popular; people knew her, but as far as people caring about all of her fights, people didn't really care after that.
I agree. All right, Darius, let's get into all the fight news. We got Mario Bautista taking on Corey Sandhagen. When's this happening? This is going to be UFC 329. Hopefully Corey Sandhagen wins this fight, dude. If he loses to Mario Bautista, dude, that's not going to be a good look.
I mean, for Mario Batista right now, Mario Batista's rolling, dude, and would it be good for Sandhagen?
Boring as fuck.
No, but but for Batista to get the finish in his last fight is kind of like my thing. So if he's able to go out there and put, I really think him getting the Sandhagen fight is a result of him getting the finish against Oliveira in his last fight. Because I think get him getting a finish like that was able to get him a tougher matchup. And if he can go out there and do his thing against Corey Sandhagen, it's not good for Corey Sandhagen. Obviously he doesn't need to be losing fights at this point in his career, but it's not necessarily a bad loss because we've seen what Batista has been able to do. Besides Umar, he's pretty much beaten everybody in his path. And I guess I say that to say I'm still going to pick Corey Sandhagen, but Mario Batista is every bit alive for this fight.
Antoine, I have to be honest. I don't know which event you're talking about. If you're talking about the one this weekend, those doors are staying closed. And dude, they can be unlocked, and wind ain't even opening those doors.
They could literally have all the doors unlocked and everything. But no, he's talking about the Ronda and Gina fight. I
fucking made this point fucking last week. It's like it doesn't matter. Like it might be a good event, But at the end of the day, everyone on the card is an old, retired UFC fighter that, in theory, shouldn't really be fighting anymore. What's going to happen after this card? We're going to have no more money, no talent, because these guys aren't going to be able to fight for the next 2 or 3 years, and they're not going to want to because you paid them a shit ton of money. Therefore, the only way for any organization to do something for it to really matter, they would need to maybe pick 5 out of the top 10 in every division. Like literally half the UFC top 10 in every division. Like poach them from the UFC, and then the UFC might have some competition. But at this point, just signing old retired UFC fighters or other fucking fighters that have already been cut from the UFC, all that does is show that you're not number one, that you might be number 2, but you're not number 1. And that's my thought about it. I think you're muted, D-Rose.
Oh yeah, I was, because I thought I was going to sneeze and I didn't. But no, and it's going to be hard to sustain that as well, because it's kind of a fresh promotion jumping in here, and you're going to have to pay. You don't have to pay what it takes to cover for Francis Ngannou. Then you're going to have to pay Gina Carano, who, big movie star. And then you got Ronda Rousey, who, former, UFC great and, WWE champion and, actress as well. And then you got Mike Perry, who's, BKFC king. And, you're spending a lot of money on these types of big names. And, if the event doesn't blow the doors off the place, how many times are they going to really be able to keep
or a free event too? Like it's on Netflix, yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like they have to make it back from ticket sales.
But yeah. So you're exactly like, what they're making off of whatever they're making in the stadium, basically, seats, concessions, all that stuff. That's really what's going to bring it home for them. But yeah, I'm curious to see what it does, but I just don't know. I mean, Ronda's definitely going to sell it, but I'm not. It is what it is.
All right, moving on. For UFC Vegas 118, June 6th, we got Marcus McGee taking on Jacob Wicklax. What's your thoughts on this one?
I don't want to say it's a weird fight, but I guess it's just a fight I wasn't necessarily expecting. But I mean, Marcus McGee,
it's the proper step back down for fucking Marcus McGee. It's like, hey, you just threw him to Petr Yan. Like, what happened?
Yeah, well, and he, honestly, he held his own against Petr Yan. Like, if you actually go back and look at that fight now, I think he got one of the rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards. Like, I think it was the first round that he ended up getting on all 3 judges' scorecards. But
that's not surprising. That's a Yan fight.
Yeah, and it is. He does normally take the first round, to kind of take his time, but I will say, Marcus McGee, he's definitely, he's competitive and he's explosive. But I think Jacob Wicklax, he's pretty dangerous as well, as he proved in his last fight against Naimov. To be able to fight the guy who missed weight, and to me, I thought he won the first 2 rounds, and then to get the submission win late, that was a big win for him. So that's I think it's a well matched fight, but I guess a fight I wasn't necessarily expecting.
That's fair, man. Moving on, that's this weekend. Dude, he could probably hear us right now.
Does he not look like
Tony Ferguson? A young
Tony. But here, he looks like Tony Ferguson if somebody drew 70% of Tony Ferguson.
He looks like Doodle Bob Tony Ferguson.
Yes, he looks like a sketch drawing of Tony Ferguson.
He looks,
that 100%.
He looks like these clips of these Indian dudes that you'll see that'll look a little bit like LeBron James, and he'll fucking walk around with a LeBron James jersey on and acts like he's LeBron. That's ew. He's the Indian Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, dude, 100%, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, we gotta be nice because he, like I said, he could probably hear us from here. Let's see what else we got on here. That's also this weekend, so we'll talk about that when it comes to it. This is D-Rose, your favorite penis is back, and he's fighting Cesar Almeida. What's your thoughts on the explosive penis fighting June 11th or July 11th?
I feel like we haven't seen Cesar Almeida in a while, have we?
He fought not too long ago.
Did he?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember who was
For
against.
some reason, I don't remember. He had the man, what's his name?
Kapilov?
No. Oh my gosh. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. Yeah, he had the fight against him where he had that big knockout after the comeback, but I don't remember him having another fight after that. So
He lost to Olashaychuk's brother via decision in December.
oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so yeah, you're right. He fought not that long ago. I guess very forgettable fight then. But I will say this: if Penis is going to keep it on the feet, if Penis is coming in there hard, he can end up on the ground soft. So yeah, that's
fair.
Almeida can strike, man, and yeah, he could pull one on Penis and put him out of there.
Yeah. Do you see him choking the penis into submission? Or, I mean, he is a kickboxer, so I don't think he's like, he probably won't grapple Penis too much. So, like, he might just strike him up, just stroke after stroke, you know.
You probably kick him in the balls.
If I just kick him in the ball. I don't know why that's so funny. I feel like we talked about this one last week. Yeah, we did. What's wrong with us, man? What are we, 10? Oh, goodness. Damien is getting tatted already, that name. The same thing happens in the NBA when those chicks clear.
That is true. Yeah, and not quite full Dan Hooker, but he's trying to get there.
Yeah, tatted up penis, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, I heard that hurts, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, dude, let's get into this weekend. We got UFC Vegas 116, Aljamain Sterling taking on Yusuf Zalal. You excited for the card this weekend, Deros?
Absolutely thrilled. If you couldn't tell, I mean, honestly, I've gnawed my fingernails off. You know, just kind of chomping at the bit to talk about the cards this weekend.
I haven't made one single bet yet, man. Not even one. Are you gonna watch the MVP fights from start to finish? If there's not UFC fights on, but if there's UFC fights on, then I'll have like the UFC fights on my TV, and I might have the MVP fights on my phone. I don't even have Netflix, so I'll have to illegally stream that.
Can you actually hold it down for a second while I go take a quick leak?
Yeah, poop.
No, just no piss. No, it's a quick leak.
Here comes the hot bean from D Rose. All right, you go do that, and I'll get everything ready for this weekend. All right, so this upcoming weekend in Las Vegas, that was quick. You just left. You just left. What's D Rose doing?
I didn't leave. I kept tripping over my cord, so I'm just unplugging my or I'm cutting the camera out. So I don't end up
What's D Rose doing? This is weird. If I can do all this penis talk, now D Rose got to pee. Unplugs his camera. What's happening? There's something happening. Why is D Rose unplugging his camera? Anyway, let me get this shit broken down for this weekend. We got UFC Vegas 116 happening in Las Vegas in the Meta Apex. Fights taking place at 5 p.m. East Coast time. Main event of the night is Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling taking on the Moroccan Devil Yusuf Zalal. We got the dump truck driver, Norma Dumont, taking on La Pantera, Jocelyn Edwards. That's going to be Antoine's fight of the night. He's going to have his lotion out ready to go. We've got Rafa Garcia taking on Alexander, the Great Ape, El Gran Chango Hernandez. We got Dangerous Davy Grant taking on Adrian Luna Martinelli. We have Montel Jackson taking on Hayani Barcelos. We have Marcus Buchecha taking on Ryan Superman Span. We have Adolfo Vieira taking on Eric Mecanico. Cedriquez SD Dumas taking on Jackson McVeigh, and he already told us what he was going to do. He was going to hit him with the little, was it with the little sham, a little sham wow? I don't know. He's going to hit him with something. Anyway, we got Mara Bueno Silva taking on Michelle Montague. We have Jafel Filo taking on Cody Durden. We have Francis Fire Marshall taking on Lucas Brennan. We have Max Payne Griffin taking it on Victor Valenzuela. And the opening fight of the night will be Talitha Alencar taking on Julia Pelostri. Some fights that did fall off the card were Norma Dumont versus Yana Santos, Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley. That was going to be the main event. Jafel Filo versus Lucas Rocha, Alan Fry Jr., Max Jimenez, Marcus Buchecha, Max Jimenez. So Marcus Buchecha taking this fight on short notice as well, and Ryan Span stepping in on short notice as well, because this fight was originally going to be Max Jimenez versus Alan Fry Jr., and then Alan Fry Jr. falls out. Marcus Buchecha steps in, and then Max Jimenez falls out. So now Ryan Span steps in. So, oh, man, we have a card, D-Rose. We have a card of fights. Look, D-Rose, they are flaming you in the comments. They are flaming you in the comments.
Man, I was just feeling a little stiff is all.
All the penis talk, and then all of a sudden, fucking D-Rose like, I'll be right back, guys. Excuse me.
Yeah, just feeling a little stiff, but we got it all worked out.
That's fair.
No
That's fair.
problem.
Glad you got it figured out, D-Rose. Glad you got it figured out. All right. So, did you hear all the fights this weekend, or feel free to look over them for a second?
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right. Let me share this tab instead. How are you feeling about fights this weekend? Because I personally, much like last weekend, have no confidence in any of these. I don't have one singular bet so far, D-Rose. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, no, it's actually very shocking to consider that you don't have any bets on
NBA's
anything.
been going on, dude. I ain't, I've been kind of focused.
Well, yeah, true. That is true.
Been cashing the hoops bets.
But yeah, but no, I think it's a night of fights. Let's say that. If you're bored, sure. But if you got a
Oh no, is he defroze? Oh man. See, he was bullshitting. All of a sudden went and turned his internet off. I don't know what he's doing. Well, while he gets that figured out, I'm going to start breaking down this card, I guess. We've got Talitha Alencar taking on Julia Pelostri. First fight of the night, Problem Child. Talitha Alencar is 7-1-1 overall out of her last 5 fights. 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest, I believe. 1 draw, unanimous draw, I guess. Anyway, she's 35 years old, 5'1". He's back. Okay, cool. 5'1", 58-inch reach. Dear, I don't know what happened, man. Like you're like talking, and you're like, and then that was just the face that was on the screen.
My junk ended up. It was lagging a little bit, but we good.
All right, look.
Crazy.
You're like half Momo. What's a Momo, dear?
Dave could explain it to us because I couldn't tell you.
All right. On the other end, Julia Pelostri, Psycho Julia Pelostri, 14-5-0. alternating wins and losses. She is 28 years old, 5'2", and a 63-inch reach. D-Rose, who is the other girl that fought a few weeks ago? These are the two girls that I get confused. The jiu-jitsu girl. Not
Bia Mosquito.
Not fucking Bia Mosquito. She's a small. Jacqueline. Is it?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Amorim?
Yeah, Jackie Amorim and Talitha Alencar. I get these two girls mixed up, but they're both jiu-jitsu girls. Well, I mean, I said her first name.
But I know, but just for me to remember Amorim, like, out of all of them, like,
yeah, I get her and Talitha Alencar mixed up, but to be fair, they kind of fight the same way. Maybe Talitha Alencar, did she also fight Vanessa Demopoulos via decision? Yeah, I mean they fight the same way, both jiu-jitsu girls. I think Jackie Amorim might be a little bit better on the feet. Which leads me to go ahead and go Julia Pilastri to break this alternating win and loss streak that she's got going on, to get 2 wins in a row here. I believe she's the better striker here. She's Brazilian, so, they come out the womb and get wrapped up in a gi. They got jiu-jitsu in their mitochondria. I'm going to go Julia Pilastri to win this via decision, just doing more damage on the feet. Currently the favorite. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, this one's a tough one for me to call because, I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm not really.
Antoine, do you like the ones with a little bit of armpit hair too, dude? I could see you liking that.
Hey, she ain't bad, but no, I almost want to take Talitha Alencar because, but honestly, I was surprised to hear how much bigger Julia Pilastri, I guess just height wise, she's only an inch taller, but had that much of the reach advantage as well. And I am with you. I do think Pilastri is the better striker. So give me Julia Pilastri here. I'm going to go by decision.
All right, me and you agreeing. Julia Pilastri via decision. Moving on up to the next one, we've got Max Payne Griffin taking on Victor Valenzuela. Haven't done much research here, dude, but Max Payne, 40 years old, not the best look in the world. Coming on the other end, we got a dude fighting out of Chile. I could only imagine he's fighting like Ignacio Bahamondes, got lethal striking like that. I need to do more research, but he did lose on the Contender Series to Michael Oliveira. Right hook, left hook, right hook, and hammer fist. So he lost via a lot of ways there. The thing is, Max Payne,
his ass whooped.
right? Max Payne really doesn't offer that. He's more of a volume overtime, going to pick and poke you to decision. I mean, he has one finish, but it was a guy, I actually think it was Ramiz Brahimaj, and that was when he fucking busted off his ear. So, I mean, that's one finish. Dude, I have to go Victor Valenzuela to probably get Max Payne Griffin out of here. Let's go knockout round 2. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, I think Valenzuela, he's definitely going in there. He's the more explosive fighter, and he's going to go in there and put pressure on Max Griffin. And for me, Max Griffin he's shown that he's had a good chin. For the most part. I mean, he went there and he went to decision with Michael Morales and kind of made Michael Morales look a little human there in that fight as well. Michael Morales would have a tough time walking Max Griffin down. I swear I almost want to pick him in. Just because, I mean, how much do we really know about Valenzuela? He's beating guys on LFA and stuff like that, but lost in the Contender Series. I know Max Griffin isn't necessarily the volume puncher, but you can or the power puncher, but it looks like Valenzuela goes for basically finishes. Give me Max Griffin here, man.
Kind of an opposite of what usually happens, because I'll occasionally pick old Max Payne.
Yeah, typically, but yeah, I don't know a lot about Valenzuela, so that is part and reason why I'm going with Max Griffin. But just not really having this level of competition just yet, and Max Griffin coming in off a couple losses, but he's still been competitive in this fights. Give me Max Griffin here.
All right. First different pick of the night, Victor Valenzuela. I am going him, and D Rose is going Max Payne Griffin. All right, D for that. All right. Next fight we will talk about is wrong page, is going to be Francis Fire Marshall taking on Lucas Brennan. Dude, this guy added Monday, Tuesday. This is the Doodle Bob, Tony Ferguson here, Skywalker, if you will. Francis Fire Marshall, 9-3 overall, 27 years old, 5'9", 72-inch reach. Huge favorite right now. Lucas Brennan coming in, as I said, got made Monday. Looks like he's a grappler, dude. You're not out grappling Francis Marshall, especially not being way bigger than him. So for me, give me Francis Marshall. Does he win via submission or decision, D Rose? Which way are we going?
I'm going to take Francis Marshall I think I'm going to take him by submission. Yeah, I think I'm going to take him by submission, especially
submission.
Brennan.
What round are we doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go round 2.
All right, me and D Rose agreeing. Francis Marshall, round 2 submission. Moving on to the next one, we got Jafel Fillo, Cody Durden, also one that was made not too long ago. Dude, what is Cody Durden doing? Just getting fucking knocked out every week at this point?
You know how much it seems like is he just trying to fight out his UFC contract? Like,
is he out of money, dog?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, if he's just trying to fight out his UFC contract and like, dude, can I get a spot on this MVP card this summer? Like, can I be on the prelims? It almost feels like he's like trying to get to that point or something, because it's crazy the pace that he's fighting at, considering the losing streak he's on.
Yeah, man, lost 4 in a row in the past year, dude. He's lost 4,
and most of them have been by a brutal finish too.
Yeah, I mean, not good looks, dude.
And Tim and Denver didn't really. I mean, he hurt him, but he didn't, not that bad. But, Nacio Mino hurt him on the feet before he subbed him. And Jose Ochoa, took the soul out of him. And dude, Josh Van, like, that fight should have been stopped.
Beat the brakes off of him, I know.
Dude, that fight should have been stopped, like, probably on 2 or 3 different occasions in that fight. Dude, Josh Van took the soul from that man. And you can make the argument that Cody Durden hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, man, I agree. I'm not breaking this one down, dude. I think Cody Durden is how did I describe Nico Price when you leave a paper towel in your pocket on accident and then you wash it and dry it and then you put your hand in there and it's all this crumbs? That's basically Cody Durden at this point. Am I frozen? My picture's frozen, huh? Is it frozen? No, there it is.
No, it was for a second, but you're good now.
Yeah, but that's basically Cody Durden, that crumbled up paper that you found in your pocket after you accidentally leave it in there after washing your laundry, dude. Give me Jafel Fillo to win this. Does he submit him or did he knock him out, D-Rose? Let's agree on this one too.
Jafel Fillo, he's not knocking out anybody, dude. Even that Durden is chinny, but yeah, I'm going to go Fillo. I'm going round. Do we go round 2 sub or do we switch
round
up?
Round 2 sub. Let's go round 2 sub.
Yeah, we'll do
round 2
sub for this one too.
Moving on to the next one, we got Mayra Bueno Silva, Chitara. But she does like to cheat. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, she is taking on Michelle Montague, the wild one. Mayra Bueno Silva has lost 4 of her last 5, one of which being a no contest that she lost for doing ADHD medication, apparently. 34 years old, 5'6", 66-inch reach. Michelle Montague, 7-0, fighting out of Florida. She's from New Zealand. Kiwi, if you will. 5'9", 78-inch reach. She's going to be the better striker here, but the question is, Zero, what weight class? Is this a 135? Yeah, give me Michelle Montague to win this via decision. She could knock out Mayra Bueno Silva round 3, dude. If you're betting this, I'd go 3 or decision just to be safe because Myron Bueno Silva does tend to gas a little bit in the later rounds. So I could see, later finish for Michelle Montague, but I'm going to go Michelle Montague via decision. How about you, Deros?
I will say, I know you said Myra Bueno Silva tends to gas, and she does gas, but there's one thing I will never question about Myra Bueno Silva. She may have not the greatest IQ, all that stuff, but dude, she's tough as a $2 steak. Like she will stand in there and she will bang, and she will not, she will throw caution to the wind and try to go in there and get a finish. So I will give her that, but I do think that ultimately at 135 she is just a little bit outsized, and I do think that Montague is going to be able to. And she's got some wrestling in her back pocket as well. I know she's got some pretty decent striking, but yeah, most of her wins have come by submission. So she is looking to get the fight down to the ground. I do think that's where Myra Bueno Silva, she'll probably try to get a little active with some hammer fists and elbows off the back, but I just think it'll put her in a bad position to where Montague can pretty much do the control and get the win. So give me Michelle Montague, and I'm going by decision.
Okay, looks like we're agreeing there. Anton, want to know, do you think Filo is still in his prime? How do you feel about older flyweights and bantamweights? I think his fight against Muhammad Makayev was an eye opener that shows how good he can be. I just don't know, man. It's tough because on any day anything can happen, man. Maybe that was the best night of his life. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't have the highest hopes for Jafel Filio as far as competing up at the top of 125. He's just kind of a fun fighter and a good kind of standard test on, if you beat Jafel Filio, you're pretty good. If you don't beat him, you're probably not going to be a top guy.
Yeah. Antoine said, crazy seeing Myra Bueno Silva fight for a belt. Now she's plus 235 for years. It just fucking shows how bad 135 is, man.
Yep. And she was only coming in off like a couple wins. Like it's not like it was anything.
But she just moved up too.
Yeah, she had like literally just moved up. I think it had like 2 or 3 wins, and it was like, oh, she subbed Holly Holm one night, even though they clearly ruled that fight no contest because the as you said, the ADHD medication.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on up, we got the guy that's going to get hit with the Shabam Bam, the Shamwam, Shamwow, Shamwam, the Sham, the Shimmy. I don't know who he's going to hit with. We got Cedric Dumas, SD, 10-4 overall. Dude, how is he only 10-4? Dude, I've only seen him beat people that are so bad. Anyway, 30 years old, 6'2", 79-inch reach. Maybe he's beating people in jail that gives him the confidence because he ain't beating no one in the UFC, dog. Does he? Man, Jackson McVeigh don't got no wins in the UFC either. Bruno Ferreira, okay, fair. Zach, man. Fuck, man, you lose a Zach Reese, dog. Yeah, 27 years old, 6'4". Dude, give me Jackson McVeigh to win this fight via decision. Greasy, sketchy. This shit's about to be so bad. The worst fight you've watched all year. You think Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker was bad? Nah. This shit this weekend is just going to be this is going to be a sloppy wrestling match, dude. This shit's going to look fake. Like the Three Stooges. Like the referees just going to be watching the other two dudes falling all over each other. Give me Jackson McVeigh to win this via decision by doing absolutely nothing. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I really don't care about this fight, to be honest. The best
You
way
just want to see what the shimmy is.
Come on, man. You know what a shimmy is. Shimmy. It's self-explanatory, right? He doesn't even really have to explain it. But give me Jackson McVeigh. I think he's going to just kind of charge Cedric Dumas early. Cedric Dumas does not fight in chaos that well, and Jackson McVeigh, kind of got his name, coming up on the regional scene for kind of fighting in that chaos. and I don't think Cedric Dumas has nearly the amount of danger that somebody like a Bruno Ferreira or I'm not the biggest Zach Reese fan, but Zach Reese is a pretty decent fighter at this point. I wouldn't consider Cedric Dumas necessarily that type of guy. So I'm going to go Jackson McVeigh. I'm going to go first round knockout.
All right. We're agreeing on the fighter, just not how it gets done. You have more faith in Jackson McVeigh than I do, dude. Moving on up, we have Rodolfo Vieira taking on Eric McConaughey. Dude, who did he beat? Cody Brundage. He beat somebody else,
Cody
too?
Brundage.
Or only Cody Brundage? He only beat Cody Brundage?
Yeah, I believe it was Brundage.
Dude, if he would have beat... Oh, but this was the fight, dude, where he kind of showed some toughness there against fucking Suzurkaev, yeah? Like, the fight wasn't easy.
Suzurkaev just kept doing dumb. He was hurting him, then he kept doing dumb stuff, and then McConaughey would kind of do stuff to get back into the fight, and then Suzurkaev played with his food a little bit in that fight, basically.
Yeah.
And he almost paid for it, but Suzurkaev was able to get him out of there.
Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I just think Aaron McConaughey has no clue what he's about to get into when he falls to the ground. Because if we're going to act like Eric McConaughey doesn't just fall down in his fights, we'd be lying, dude. He seems like he's unbalanced. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe he's top heavy. He seems to throw a kick and fall down a lot, get like hit while throwing kicks, fall down a lot. If you fall down, dude, Rodolfo Vieira is going to jump on you, and he's probably going to submit you, dude. That's the thing. And Rodolfo's striking's been getting a little bit better, being 36 years old. I don't want to say he looks great, but it definitely improved. I think Eric McConaughey falls down in the second round. Rodolfo Vieira jumps on him and gets a submission. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to judge a Rodolfo Vieira fight. I'm just going to be honest. For me, there are times where I think
you just have the issue with this one right here.
The Cody Brundage one, of course. Of course, that's the one that will always
dude,
bite.
That was 3 years ago. Let it go. Just kidding.
Yeah, no.
Dude, we were on the pod. I remember on the podcast talking about this.
Yes,
like
yes.
flip this. Flip this. You're like, this is the last time I will bet on Cody Brundage. You're like, the absolute last time.
And that has been the last time I bet a Cody Brundage fight, because I'm like, dude, it's unbelievable how much he has screwed me over in all my bets. And still to this day, burning other people. So, let y'all go ahead and enjoy that mess. And another one that he had burned for you as well was against Eric McConaughey. Kind of bring it full circle. You were big on Brundage beating McConaughey.
I was like, how does he lose to Eric McConaughey?
And then he went and lost to Eric McConaughey. So yeah, but again, Rodolfo Vieira, another guy who it's hard for me to call his fights. I think the biggest thing is that he needs to get the fight down to the ground, but I just don't know if McConaughey's got some pretty decent takedown defense. He was able to defend the takedowns pretty well against Suzurkaev. And maybe it's just the line, but I'm going to go Eric McConaughey here to get it done, man. As long as he keeps the fight on the feet, in my opinion, I just don't see Rodolfo Vieira's got a jab, and that's it. Like, he doesn't even have like any leg kicks or anything. So he might have a 1-2, but I think McConaughey's got definitely more power in the hands. And as long as he can keep it on the feet, I think it's his fight to lose. So give me McConaughey here and an upset by decision.
It's our second different pick of the day. I'm on Rodolfo Vieira, D Rose on Eric McConaughey. Moving on up. Antoine, I want to answer your question. Give me a second. How do you feel with people with face tattoos, like even celebrities like Travis Barker? Hey, man, you do whatever the fuck you want, dog. I don't care. It's your own choice. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, those people clearly aren't going to get any corporate jobs or anything. As far as like, if you're going to be working in corporate and stuff like that, then I can understand how an employer is going to be like, hey, and especially it's more the older demographic that really gets a lot of intimidation from it, because I would say more of our era has been, kind of more prone to have face tattoos and, kind of be pretty regular people. But, it's a lot of times it's, the older demographic that, sees people with face tattoos. And, at one point that was a scary thing. And now it's just people getting, you know, just dumb stuff on their face just to try to look cool for a moment.
That's fair. How do you feel about legendary BJJ artists who struggle in the UFC? Does it mean it's the least successful base? I don't think it's the least successful. I just think it just goes to show there's a hole in the game, man.
No,
Dave, you
well,
should,
and a
man.
lot of the jiu-jitsu guys too end up getting over into the sport late, because look at Gilbert Burns, a world champion jiu-jitsu getting over into the sport. He, got over in his, what I would say late 20s, and didn't really get a chance to kind of develop the skills. You can make the argument with wrestlers as well. Bo Nichols got a good base, but I would make the argument that he's got to be close to 30 now. He hasn't really had the time to kind of develop his game. But if you look at Damian Maya too, another guy, world champion jiu-jitsu who, he was able to make it to the top and challenge for a belt in 2 different divisions. So I definitely wouldn't say jiu-jitsu is the worst base to have, but I think a lot of guys in UFC now, especially guys that are getting up to the top, they're learning everything so early now, instead of waiting until you get to the UFC to learn everything else. So it's just a different game now.
I agree, man. Moving on up to the next one, another jiu-jitsu legend. As Antoine said, we got Marcus Buchecha taking on Superman Ryan Spann. D-Rose, do we do story time now or later? I'm going to let you do story time. You're like, what story am I telling?
Yeah, no, that is maybe the only thing I can really think is just really being able to make money on Ryan Spann being the betting favorite, in a lot of his fights.
It actually don't have anything to do with fights. It has to do with the Superman tattoo. Dude, I don't know many. I've known a few people with Superman tattoos in my life on their chest. If you get that, dog, you like how, dude, every person that I've ever met that had that was a kind of a weirdo, right?
If I'm being honest, I can't really remember too many people who actually ended up having.
Well, let's just lead into our story. Me and D Rose had a friend in high school. Let's not name any names, but his name also started with a D. That him and D Rose were the biggest Kesha fans on earth. Like, him and D Rose would travel hours to go to these Kesha concerts. And we're like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all were like the diehard Kesha fans. D-Rose, I would pass it to you. What happened at those Kesha concerts?
Well, so the first one was actually a gift from his parents, and it was for his birthday. And hey, we ended up getting free tickets. So hey, I'm not going to turn down free tickets to go see Kesha live. So
you're like my favorite artist on earth, Kesha.
Hey, I was in high school
at the time.
I was in high school. She was one of the hottest artists out at the time. Might have had a little crush on her at the time too. I liked her wild personality. And yeah, it was free. And I was still in high school. I'd never been to North Carolina before. So I was like, dude, you know what? Let's go to North Carolina and watch. And then the second show, we had actually saw her and Riley. And that was actually, or no, I'm sorry, we saw her in Charlotte. But that was actually LMFAO when LMFAO was at their hottest point. So they were, Party Rock had just came out, Shots had, been out, all their hottest songs had just came out. So we was like, hey, go see Kesha again, plus see LMFAO. I will admit, the second time around, we actually walked out of Kesha's performance like halfway through because she just ended up getting drunk and was like falling on the stage. So we were like, yeah, we seen enough here, so we just ended up walking out.
The amount of times I was walking through the hallways or like
When you go to a concert and you end up hearing songs live, you end up having a different type of connection to the song. So it was a bonding moment.
Yeah. Anyway, so you and our other friend with the Superman tattoo are now bonded forever, going to Kesha concerts.
Yes.
Anyway, with that being said, I'm going Marcus Boucher to win this fight via submission because I will never pick someone with Superman tattoo on their chest. Which way you going here?
Yeah, I cannot confidently go Marcus Boucher. You know, I there's no way I can.
So D-Rose
give me
sticking
Ryan
with his
Spann
Kesha
here.
brothers. Picking Ryan Spann.
Yeah, because there's no way, dude. Boucher is just going in there and just basically trying to fall on his back. No, thank you. I'm going to go Ryan Spann. I think Boucher does try to, end up falling on his back, and I think when he does, I think Ryan Spann actually follows up with some ground and pound and gets Boucher out of there. Give me Ryan Spann. I'm going to go first round knockout.
That's fair. What about incoming wrestlers? We'll get what's even translate today. Of course, man. Of course. He's going to be great, dude. He's an Olympic wrestler, dude. The gold medal. He's going to be all right. He's going to be all right, man. I would never look at Darius the same. Sorry, Darius. I exposed you, man.
Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, that second
Dude,
show
that
at
was
LMFAO.
how many
Dude.
years ago was that? That had to have been like what,
Dude, that was
2012?
2011.
Yeah.
2011. I was still in high school at the time. But dude, LMFAO, I like, and I've seen Drake and Lil Wayne both live at the same time. I've seen
Dude, rap concerts are so
I've seen
bad,
Meek
dude.
Mill.
Fucking rap concerts are terrible.
Dude, I'm telling you, LMFAO still to this day, performance-wise, still might have been the best show I've ever been to. And they opened for Kesha, and they put Kesha to shame on that show because they ended up bringing the Jabberwockies out to do dances for their shows. It was like the first time I'd ever really heard LMFAO's music like in depth, and I will say that night, like that made me an LMFAO fan like forever. So I know I've told you I've loved LMFAO as well. That concert was what made me such a big fan of LMFAO, just because I did not realize they were capable of such a crazy live performance. But yeah, dude, they brought the house down.
Got you. Are y'all gonna watch the Michael Johnson biopic? I saw the trailer for it. Maybe. I'm not sure. So it looks like it could be good, Antoine. Anyway, speaking of Jacksons, we got Montel Jackson taking on Jaime Barcelos. Montel Quick Jackson, 15-3 overall, 34 years old, 5'10", 75-inch reach, going back to his dude. Does they? It's like, when does Montel Jackson not fight someone that ain't 35 years old, dude? I mean, to be fair, he's 34 now, but I feel like his whole UFC run,
besides Damone Black,
he's just but
Damone
he's
Black
just
is the only guy that he fought that was young.
But besides that, it's like now you're 34, but your whole fucking UFC fight career, you just fucking fought old people. Like, clearly doesn't want to be the champion. Ranked 16, fighting number 17, Jaime Barcelos, 21-5-0, 38, 57-inch reach. Dude, Honey's been looking good. I feel like he can't keep looking good, dude. I don't really know what to think here. We already have 3 different picks, D-Rose. I'm leaning Montel Jackson, but I could be convinced Jaime Barcelos. I'm gonna click this. Which way are you going, man?
Yeah, for me, this fight is a tough one to call. And for me, I really think the big thing is, seeing Montel Jackson. For me, it was for him to lose the fight to Deiveson Figueiredo, to where I thought, and Deiveson Figueiredo is clearly a great fighter, but I would say at this point, he shouldn't have been taking down Montel Jackson the way he was. And that, I think that's the biggest thing that really worries me in this fight. Now, even though Deiveson Figueiredo is the more natural flyweight, you could say that he might be even stronger than Honey Barcelos, but dude, Honey Barcelos is very,
He is a
he's
Brazilian
crafty, man.
national wrestling champion.
Exactly. And if Figueredo took him down like that, man,
I'm just
I
worried that
would
he
say
gets
for
cracked.
me,
I'm just worried that he gets
going to be
cracked. That's it.
yeah. The biggest thing for me is that Barcelos doesn't get cracked. But if he doesn't get hit with a big shot, I think he wins the fight. Give me
right.
Honey Barcelos here by decision to get it done, man.
All right. You've convinced me, D Rose. Honey Barcelos via decision. Anyway,
Yeah.
Davey Grant, Adrian Luna Martinelli. Man, another tough one because I don't really know shit about Adrian Luna Martinelli. He's coming off the Contender Series, the win
He had
over
the
Mark
fight with Mark
Blogden.
Blogden, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like before that, fighting in MMA Mexico, we really don't know. Coming out of Ecuador, probably got power. How's he finishing, dudes? Armbar. So both submissions and knockout. But Davey Grant is tough as nails. D Rose calls him a what?
Left hook Larry.
A old leather
Tougher than
boot.
an old leather belt.
That's what you
Old
call
leather
it. Yeah. So tough fight, dude. I guess, dude, Davey Grant's getting the old 40, man. Got submitted. It's no question that we're picking Martinelli here, but how does he get it done? Because Davey Grant's tough as nails. He could submit him, but are we going submission or decision, D Rose?
Man, I'm not necessarily sure. I'm not going to pick Davey Grant.
All right. In that case, I'm going to go via decision. Let's not act like Martinelli's not experienced. 17-1 overall.
Yeah, I guess my big thing. This is the thing that I guess has kind of got me a little worried is that, obviously, Martinetti, he beat Vologdin, but dude, Mark Vologdin made him work for that. Like, and I think Vologdin might have even been the favorite going into that fight. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, Martinetti, he pulled off the upset, but he wasn't like a significant underdog, and he was a much bigger guy. But dude, he got cracked plenty in that fight and got hurt plenty in that fight. And Davey Grant, as we just discussed, he's just otherworldly tough. And I mean, even in the Ramon Tavares fight, which is just a year ago for Davey Grant, he kind of went in there and threw down Ramon Tavares and went in there and got a win after getting into a scrap with him. So the biggest thing for me is that where Davey Grant's starting to show that he can get hurt a little bit, that's where it's starting to concern me because Charles Jourdain hurting him the way he did, and then getting the finish, it was a little surprising. So as much as I want to pick Davey, I got to pick Martinetti here to get it done. I think he's going to be the quicker guy, but man, I'm not betting this fight at all, except I might take the over. That'd be the only way I bet this fight because I think Davey Grant is very much live in this fight.
That's fair, man. Me and D Rose, I guess agreeing Martinetti via decision.
Yeah.
All right, moving on up. Feature fight of the night. We got Rafa Garcia, gifted Rafa Garcia, taking on El Gran Chongo, Alexander Hernandez. So gifted Rafa Garcia, 18-4 overall, 31 years old, 5'7", 70-inch reach, while Alexander Hernandez, 18-8 overall. Don't forget the one against Michael Johnson in January that fell out for the betting shenanigans. Anyway, he hasn't fought since 7 months ago. He is 33 years old, 5'9", 72-inch reach. D-Rose, this is the same fighter. I just think Alexander Hernandez is a little bit better. I think he's a little bit better everywhere, a little bit better striking, a little bit better wrestling, a little bit older, a little bit more UFC experience, dude. I got Alexander Hernandez via decision here. I can't see why you wouldn't agree.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Alexander Hernandez gets it done as well. I think he's going to be the bigger guy, the more athletic guy. Hoffa Garcia is probably going to have the speed advantage, but I think in terms of footwork, Hernandez, he's a little bit more bouncy, so he can kind of get in and out. I do think that Hernandez is probably going to be a little bit smarter about this fight, because if you don't get Hoffa Garcia out of there early, he can, he's got some good cardio, so he can kind of last later on in the fight and be able to, kind of make you work for it as the fight goes on. So, I think it's a well-paced fight as well. I think it'd probably be like a 29-28, Hoffa Garcia gets around, but I think Alexander Hernandez gets it done. Give me a Hernandez by decision.
All right, that's fair, man. Looks like we're agreeing. Moving on up, main event of the evening. Antoine, this one's for you. And before we talk about it, did y'all like Michael a lot growing up, and y'all he's the biggest celebrity? I think Antoine. I don't think we're that old, dog. Like, I think Michael Jackson was probably like a generation right before us. Maybe like 10 years before us.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, because we're growing up and like he was already older. Like when we were fucking growing up, like he had already done all the bleaching and was already hanging his kids over the balcony and shit like that. Like when
we were growing up as that was happening.
Yeah,
like kind of because I remember when that stuff was happening. Like we were young, but yeah, I still remember that stuff happening as it was going on, because my mom was a huge Michael Jackson fan, so we heard a lot about him.
Yeah. And then do y'all think Vladimir Martinelli go in the Hall of Fame? It was a good fight, man. Probably the best UFC, probably the best contender series fight. Like if there was
best
contender series
fight ever. But then are you then going to open the vault to now we're
power slap
the Ultimate Fighter?
The best power slap match
fights in here now? No, we're not doing that, dude. It's not in the UFC. Although that Vologden and Martinelli fight, awesome fight. No, that's not going in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Antoine says Battle of the Dump Trucks. Get your lotion this weekend, Antoine. Saturday night. Co-main event.
Get your CDLs.
Here we go. Hope you got your commercial driver's license, because you're going to need it this weekend when Norma Dumont takes on Jocelyn Edwards. 13-2 for the immortal Norma Dumont. 35 years old, 5'7", 67-inch reach, while Jocelyn Edwards, La Pantera, 17-6 overall. She's 30 years old, 5'8", and a 70-inch reach. She has been beating the brakes off these hoes. Choked out Nora Cornell, got her get back for that one, for this one, right? Or not for that one, but from their previous fight, knocked out Priscilla Cachoeira, Zombie Girl, knocked out Chelsea Chandler, submitted Tamaris Vidal, dude. On the other hand, Norma Dumont is good, dude. Probably should have fought for the title already, but, it is what it is. Either way, D-Rose, I think this fight goes to decision. I do think Norma Dumont might have what it takes, might have the little tricks and tactics just to hold Jocelyn Edwards up against the fence. Maybe even take Jocelyn Edwards down and just hold her there, man. I think it's going to be a close, competitive fight. But give me Norma Dumont to win this fight via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, this one is I'll admit, this one's actually been a tough one for me, because I've actually been going
tough.
back and forth. Dude, I've been going back and forth, dude. And, I can actually make the argument for both girls. For me, you see Jocelyn Edwards coming down this big street, finishing everybody. She's looking
looks like
a lot
she's
better
from Avatar. If she was blue, you'd be like, that's in the movie Avatar. You know what?
You're not too far off. Not too far off. But no, I for
I just
me,
like the Avatar. Now I got a blue dick. That was the old Lil Wayne lyric.
Yeah. No, I remember the line, but shit crazy. But for me, I think where Jocelyn Edwards can get caught in her fights is that she can get caught with the takedowns, and I think that's where she can get caught up by Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont's probably going to go ahead and her best bet is to get the fight down to the ground, because I think if she leads the fight on the feet, although Norma Dumont has pretty good boxing and pretty good footwork, Jocelyn Edwards has been getting comfortable on the feet, and she's clearly been displaying her power and has been hurting chicks bad too. So, yeah, I think Norma Dumont, she needs to try to slow down that Jocelyn Edwards power. I think she's going to use a lot of wrestling. But give me Norma Dumont by decision to get it done.
All right. Sounds like we are agreeing, which leaves us to the main event, D-Rose. We got Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling taking on Yusuf Zalal, the Moroccan Devil. Aljamain Sterling has been on a run since moving up to 145, in which he defeated Calvin Kattar, lost to Mavsar in a fight that I do think that he could have won, dog, and then beat Brian Ortega. He is 36 years old, 5'7", and a 71-inch reach. This fight is 5 rounds. Don't forget it. Yusuf Zalal, 18-5-1. He's 29 years old, 5'10", and a 72-inch reach. So Yusuf Zalal is going to have some size here over Aljo. Let's not take that into consideration. This is battle of the backpack, right? It's like two backpacks. It's just two fucking go in the middle. Who gets the backpack if they're both a backpack, Heroes?
Whoever gets strap on first.
Dude, it's tough fight to call. I think I was leaning Aljo this whole week until I just now saw a size. Because Aljo is about as lethal on the feet as your daughter Abby. You know, and I will say with like your daughter Abby armed with like a TV remote. You know, like there is some danger there, you know, like, but at the end of the day, you know, it's like, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? We know what's happening. You're going to shoot for the legs and you're going to try to get the back. So doesn't pose too much of a threat on the feet, although a little bit of danger. On the other hand, Yusuf Zalal is very defensively sound. He will run away on the fight. I do think he's the better striker. He does have better footwork. I think the skill on the feet is more of a gap than the skill on the ground is. So that being said, D-Rose, I'm going to go with, I think, the slight favorite and Yusuf Zalal via decision, man. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think for this fight, you know, it's pretty interesting, you know, for me, because so these two have actually trained with each other, and they've actually trained with each other like recently. So I heard Yusuf Zalal in an interview with Ariel Hawani mention that Aljo and Yusuf Zalal have trained as recently as when Aljo fought Brian Ortega.
Oh, wow.
So like they've actually trained with each other within the last year or so. So apparently neither one really kind of wanted the fight, but you know, Aljo kind of, you know, demanded for a fight at one point, and you know, I guess the, you know, Zalal name got slid across to him, and you know, I guess they both decided to take the fight. And Zalal did admit, you know, he's such a nice guy, you know, and he's actually a really likable guy. Like I've been listening to a few more Zalal interviews this week, and he's actually made me like realize, like, dude, he's kind of like the Moroccan Stephen Thompson. Like, dude, he's such a nice guy. Like, you cannot make yourself hate the dude whatsoever. Like, you know, Zalal's a really fun dude, really nice guy. But he even admitted in a couple of different interviews where like Aljo actually kind of had his way with him on the ground, because they trained with each other for like off and on, apparently for like the last like 8-9 years or so. And you know, even, you know, Zalal had admitted that, you know, when he was real young, you know, training with Aljo, you know, Aljo would kind of handle him on the ground wrestling. So obviously Zalal's came a long way since then. But you know, does Aljo take this fight for a reason, knowing that, hey, they've had training sessions together before, and that he feels confident that he can take Zalal down here? That's kind of what I'm going to bank on for Aljo to bank on to get done here. So I'm going to take Aljamain Sterling here. I'm going to take him by decision. Zalal can gas as well. You know, later in the fight, you know, he gassed against you know, Calvin Kattar pretty bad after dominating the first 2 rounds. And Aljo's a 5-round fighter, man. So give me Aljo to get it done.
All right, that's fair. See what the chat's saying, then we'll do our pick champs, and then we'll get out of here. Anton, I want to know, do y'all think Jocelyn Sterling has been increased to a contender level training with the greatest flyweight of all time? I think training with Valentina can't hurt, Antoine. It can't hurt. Do y'all think Sterling is a top 3 bantamweight of all time? No.
Sterling top 3 bantamweight. I mean,
No. Just with how he won the
That's tough, man.
championship, he can't.
yeah, I would say, yeah, because I mean, he got Cruz, Marab, Dillashaw. I mean, you can make the argument because he did come back and beat Jan the second time, but he also beat Cejudo, and then he beat a Dillashaw with one arm. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'd probably say Cruz, Dillashaw, Marab.
Yeah. And do you think Victor comes back? Yeah, I think hopefully, if not this game, hopefully by like maybe game 5, he'll be back. But that's hopefully if he ain't got nothing broken in his face because he hit the ground hard. Also, D Rose. Are the Mavericks your team, or do you rep loosely?
I mean, I'm not following every move. You know, am I following every off-season move and stuff like that?
I think I could probably name more people on like the Mavericks right now than D Rose could.
Well, because once everybody got hurt, you know, Kyrie got hurt, you know, Derek Lively got hurt, you know, Gafford was in and out of the lineup. You know, I know PJ Washington, you know, Cooper Flag, you know, Devin Harris. I feel like I heard his name come back again this season. You know, even I feel like he's been on the bench for the Mavericks for like the last 10 years.
What about who they traded AD for Chris Middleton and is it AJ Mitchell? No, AJ Johnson.
Yeah.
From the Wizards.
Yeah, Chris Middleton too. So yeah, that's another one
dude,
I actually
the
forgot about because I checked out after everything
the Spurs
was lost.
Center lineup is absolutely nuts. It's Wemby, Luke Cornett, Mason Plumlee, and Kelly Olynyk. That's their 4 centers, dude. Like those are all like pretty known guys, like from over the years. Like they got some vets on the team.
Yeah.
Now, does Olynyk wear socks? That's to be debated. Like he's I ain't wearing socks. I don't play.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to worry about his feet stinking. He doesn't have to really worry about him building up too much sweat inside the shoes.
Oh my, D Rose. The only thing left here is pick champ of the week. Unfortunately, I don't get to decide this week, but it's not like me picking really fucking matters anyway. We have 4 different picks on the card, man. We got Valenzuela versus Griffin. We got Rodolfo Vieira versus McConaughey. Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann, and Yusuf Zalal versus Aljamain Sterling.
Let's keep the main on there.
So that's fight number 1 or 3.
And then the other one, it was Max Griffin, Valenzuela,
Vieira, McConaughey, and Buchecha, Spann.
Yeah, I guess those 2.
Wait, which one?
Vieira, McConaughey, and then Ryan Spann and Marcus Buchecha.
All right, so you don't feel good about Max Payne Griffin?
I definitely feel the least good about him compared to the 3, but we'll use him as a backup.
Yeah, that's our only option is the backup this week. All right, that's fair. So for pick champ, for D Rose to get this shiny strap of gold back this week, the picks are Rodolfo Vieira versus Eric McConaughey, Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann, and Yusuf Zalal versus Aljamain Sterling, in which give me the jitsu, baby. Give me Rodolfo Vieira, Marcus Buchecha, and Yusuf Zalal. D Rose has got Eric McConaughey, Ryan Spann, and Aljamain Sterling. Yeah, man. Fun times here on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. Suck it.
Sir.
Anyway, where your session with Cowboys start, and where's your Cooper Flag jersey?
I would not get a Cooper Flag jersey. I can't get a jersey of a kid that's like 19 years old. There's just something weird about that. But
hey, I got a Wembanyama jersey. He's like 20, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just a little bit. I mean, CD Lamb's 25, so it's not like he's that much older. But I don't know. Just Yeah. Anyway, and the Cowboys, my mom's side of the family have been, huge Cowboys fans for a long time. A big portion of their family's from Texas, so yeah, that's where the Cowboys fan kind of really started from. And of course, in the '90s, the Cowboys were everybody's team, so kind of just rode with them from birth.
All right. And then before you go, how's your life and overall? I can't find a job, Antoine, so I fucking might end up on the street sometime. So who knows? And how was your day off, D-Rose?
Pretty
And-
good. Pretty much
And you're off
chilled
Wednesdays
out.
and Sundays?
Yeah, off Wednesdays, off Sundays, so pretty straight. I ended up ordering a new little kind of like a little fire pit, so I ended up putting that together today. We're gonna try to we wanted to try to potentially use it within the next couple of days, but it's supposed to rain, so hopefully maybe
Oh,
this
it's been
Sunday
raining
we can
here
get
like the past week, dog. It's been like raining nonstop. I've already seen you some videos.
Yeah, it's been raining the last couple of days over here, so I'm hoping to maybe get a little fire going this weekend with the new fire pit we got up here.
Antoine, I cannot believe you just now put that as an option for the greatest tight end of all time. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I mean, what? I mean,
There's only one answer. It is Tony Gonzalez. And if your answer is anything else, it's wrong. I would put Gronk number 2.
I mean, dude, Travis. I mean, and Tony Gonzalez also Kansas City Chiefs great.
I don't care.
But yeah, you could definitely make the argument Kelsey's there.
Nope. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the show. Anything else happening, D-Rose? What's happening, man? Anything else happening with you? you good?
Man, I mean, shit, nothing with me, dude. I mean, it's been pretty much same old.
Gotcha.
Selling cars, taking care of these kids. You know how it
You got
is.
any bets for this weekend, dude? I wanted to clip.
I got none.
Like I wanted to clip fucking last week. Like you're like bet this right now because the line will change before fucking Saturday. Mandel Nala will be the fucking minus 200. And he goes out there and just gets some fucking toasted this past weekend.
Smoke, dude.
I was like, fuck, man. Like, whenever we call that, we just need to just bet the opposite, dog. Like, we need to start letting the chat pick.
Well, and
Yeah.
a lot of them were on Mandel Nalo last week too, so it's not like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, everybody was on Mandel Nalo. That was the thing, but that's the game. That's how it gets you.
Yeah, man. All right. That's probably going to be it for the show. What do I need right now? I need Chet Holmgren to score some fucking points. That's what I need to do. What the fuck's he doing? He's only got 3 this whole game. It's halftime. Anyway, that's going to be it for the show, y'all. We appreciate y'all for stopping by here. Remember, if you're betting fights this weekend, they're bad. Remember, at the end of the day, they're fist fights. Anything can happen. Do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys right down there. If you're new here, subscribe. Share this with anyone that likes MMA. Maybe they'll enjoy this too, or maybe they might hate us anyway. It is what it is. My name is Matt D-Rose on that cyber screen, and we will catch you guys next week for the recap. Until then, y'all stay safe. Peace.